Hello again. As said before, make sure to watch the previous videos or you might not understand what's going on. Continuing my debate with Golden Weather, and we're now up to we've moved past the Noah's Ark discussion, etc. And we now come on to the next comment he said, which is, so my evidence for Christianity being true and everything else being wrong is based on the word of Jesus. It has not been proven to me that Jesus is a liar. So this is your basis for if Jesus told the truth and you have no reason to disbelieve Jesus, then therefore everything Jesus said is true. And since Jesus believed everything else that happened in the Bible, creation story, etc., therefore it must be true. Now, I will point, my immediate thought with this is, it has not been proven to me that it was true. It hasn't been true. It has not been proven to you that Jesus was a liar. It has not been proven to me, however, that it is true. See, we have now both two unsubstantiated claims that can either be proven correct or incorrect by either party. We weren't there, we weren't physically there, we didn't know he said it, we don't know he's telling the truth, we have no evidence for either point. So, what we have to do is create a scientific model to analyse this and decide what is the most rational decision based on this. So, I've written this down, and I'm going to pretty much just read this out to you as I wrote it at the time, simply because I won't necessarily remember all the points and I might add a couple of new ones. So, now we must look at what we know about the rest of the world and make an objective decision based on this. Are there examples of other religions? Yes. Has any religion until this point been proven correct? No. Are people capable of believing things that are not true? Yes. Are they able to believe things with complete conviction despite contradictory evidence? Yes. Do people lie? Yes. Do people from other religions inaccurate record or change their beliefs to further the goals of their religion? Yes. Do people exaggerate when they pass on stories? Yes. Is eyewitness testimony fallible both in history and in current events? Eyewitness testimony is definitely fallible. Have any supernatural claims ever been proven to not have a naturalistic explanation? No. Have religions been shown in the past to create mythological explanations for natural events that they do not understand? Yes. Are there numerous examples of eyewitness testimony in mythology or humans performing extraordinary deeds? Yes. Have any of these been shown to be true? No. Do religions demonstrate a series of developmental forms by which they become more complex over time, integrate previous religious beliefs, and are shaped by the environment around them? Yes. Are there a substantial number of examples of this to make it a logical model for assessing reality? Yes, there's lots of them. Is Christianity allowed to be exempt from this analysis because you really, really want it to be true? No. You have to use the exact same analysis that you use for every other religion in existence. And based on that, well, not simply every religion, every claim in existence, from psychics to spiritualists who who can make you see ghosts, and magicians. You have to use the exact same analysis that you use for everything else in reality. Nothing is exempt from it simply because you believe it and you want it to be true. Even something I want to be true, I have to go, am I correct in this? Should I change my mind based on the evidence? Maybe that didn't happen. Maybe as much as I want it to be true, maybe it's not. For example, most children go through this with Father Christmas. I wanted it to be true, but based on logical analysis, evidence based on reality, and making some logical assumptions about what is possible, based on by what I had seen, what I had heard, and what I knew about humanity, I deemed it more logical that Father Christmas did not exist. The most logical explanation for it was that my father was bringing me my Christmas stocking while I was asleep. Now, based on that evidence, based on that reasoning, you can apply that same reasoning, as the reasoning I've just described, to everything in existence. Why is it that you are exempt from that? Why is it that you don't use the same analysis that you currently use for your belief to analyse magic acts, or psychics, as I said, or religious healers from other religions, or shamanism? You don't use that same analysis. You have a special kind of analysis you reserve for the Bible, and a different analysis that you use for everything else. you are not being consistent with your reality or your own analysis of reality. I'm not trying to be rude, and it may come across rude because I am implying that you don't have an accurate perception of what's going on. But what I'm just trying to say is, why is it that you choose your God over any other religion? And even if for example, if I found evidence that God existed, I would be happy to change my opinion based on new information that God did exist. I will point out, though, that I wouldn't necessarily believe your God, because then it still comes to the thing of, well, which God? I could prove a God exists, possibly, but then which God would I believe? That's up for debate. And even if it was proved that your particular singular God, not just simply the Christian God, but the God of your particular denomination of Christianity is true, if that was proved, then I necessarily wouldn't worship him, because, to be honest, he's a bit of a git if you read the Bible. So he's not a very nice person, so I have no desire to worship him. Okay, so prove to me why your religion is better than every other's, and why it holds more truth claims and should be exempt from the same analysis. What evidence have you got above any other religion? So that then follows on to the proving of the existence of God, and then proving why I should even care about the existence of your God, even if he did exist, because there's no reason based on your Bible to find him a nice person. You're just picking and choosing things that you like from it. Okay, next one we get onto is the fossil record, because Goldweather does not believe that fossils, doesn't believe in the fossil record as it is, and as it's understood, does not believe in the movement of geological events, and this came on to back to the Noah's Ark conversation about whether he believes that the fossils came from the flood. And at one point states in his conversation, let's see if I can find exactly what he says, because I haven't copied the quote perfectly. Well, he says that that there's billions of fossils worldwide, and because I have previously stated that fossils are a rare event. Now, him saying there's billions of fossils, well, I think you're overestimating how big the word billion is. Billion is a lot. Billion is a huge amount. If you ever see it written down, it's a lot bigger than a million. So we'll go with several 100 million fossils instead. I don't know how many fossils there are. There's a lot of them. No one specifically counted in them, but there's a hell of a lot of fossils. But billions, because he says, doesn't say a billion, he said billions. That's a huge amount. So, but okay, we'll go with a few 100 million just as an arbitrary number. But no matter how many million, say there's these 100 million fossils, and I said, how many more do you need? Well, if there's this many fossils, how can it be a rare event? Well, if you compare the number of things which have been alive on the entire planet throughout the entire hundreds of millions of years that life has existed, and then that's a lot of things that have died, and a lot of things which have not fossilized. We have bits and scraps, we have complete skeletons, we have whole families of skeletons. We can have enough evidence to show a change throughout the whole of history. However, if every single animal, or even 50% of the animals that had ever existed, had been fossilized, we would have a damn sight more fossils, because you underestimate how many things have been alive for there to even be the number, and the number of fossils that we have may be, I said that it's rare because it's small compared with the total number of things that have been alive. That doesn't mean that we have a small number of fossils, and it doesn't mean that I don't fully understand where he's going with this. It's different to what has existed in all time, is different to the number of fossils that we have. I'm just confused by. That was confusing. On that mysterious note, the god of the Wombling Wimbles has appeared in my room, and I must now go give my benedictions to him. I have no logical explanation for its existence, so therefore magical beings did it. Glad to hear from you. Following comment follows next. Yes, bye-bye, see you in a moment.